Hello, welcome back to the Dance to Learn YouTube channel. My name is Jessica Strong, and if you are looking for dance teacher tips, tricks, and advice, you've come to the right place. Today I have my scarecrow friend. My students named him Mr. Sprinkles. So this is Mr. Sprinkles, the scarecrow, and he's here with me today. He's going to help me share with you a scarecrow-themed lesson plan that I taught this week in my preschool class that I'm teaching at a local early education center here in my town. And if you watched my last few videos, we were doing an apple theme. And so this time we are doing a scarecrow theme, and we are going to be exploring the dance concept of body shapes. So Sprinkles here is an awesome little scarecrow because he's got these great movable legs and these arms that are nice and movable, and we can put him in all sorts of body shapes. So we loved having Mr. Sprinkles today. I also swapped out my apples to these adorable little squishy pumpkins. I loved the apples so much, so I said, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to get more little squishies for as many themes as I can because I really thought the apples enhanced our apple theme. So these are little squishy pumpkins. I will link these. I got them off Amazon. They were actually keychains, and I just took the keychains off. And now we have these little pumpkins, and these have been just really fun for breathing. So we close our eyes and we smell the pumpkin, and then I go around and I say, what did your pumpkin smell like? And I got things like pumpkin cookies, pumpkin pie, and then somebody said strawberries, and I said, what? You have a strawberry pumpkin? So a cute little prop for breathing. That's the only way we used our pumpkin today. Everything else went into our scarecrow. You could also, oh, look at this. This would be fun for sizes. Compare a little pumpkin to a big pumpkin, just if we decide to explore the dance concept of sizes. That might be a fun one. But what I wanted to share with you guys today is my obstacle courses. So it's hard to do something like an obstacle course in a preschool setting. So in my first video, when I shared the first day, I kind of gave you a peek at the space that I'm teaching in. So it's sort of a long room, and it's narrow, and it has things that you would expect in a school. It has tables, it has chairs, it has like a big blue plastic table that you pick up and you move. It has rugs, it has bookshelves, it has all of these things in it because it's not a dance studio. My dance studio has none of that. We have all the space in the world in here, but when you're teaching in a school setting, you don't always have all the open space. So what I wanted to share today is my single station obstacle course. And if you are new to Dance to Learn, we do every single dance class, we do an obstacle course because it is such a great way to combine both our theme that we are exploring, scarecrows today, as well as our dance concepts. And it's also a really great way to link multiple skills together. And in dance, we call that enchaînement, where we're linking multiple steps together and we're sequencing steps together. So this is a really important part of dance because that's going to lead us to being able to perform choreography later on when we're having to learn and link together multiple steps to create a routine. So that's why we do obstacle courses. So I won't skip out on an obstacle course even though I'm teaching in the school. So today what I'm going to show you is my 5-part obstacle course and how I can do that with one station. And we are actually going to use all of these pieces to build a scarecrow, just like Mr. Sprinkles here. Now, our body shapes, we're going to be spreading this lesson plan out over a 4-week period. We're going to be exploring straight. That's what we explored today. So today, Mr. Sprinkles helped us make a straight body shape. What are all the different ways we can make a straight body shape? Yeah, so those were some of the ways that we copied Mr. Sprinkles. So I brought one whole balance piece plus 4 more. So I have 10 balance beam pieces. This is a foam connecta beam. Unfortunately, it is always out of stock on Amazon, but I did find a website. It's called Gopher Sport. I am not affiliated with Gopher Sport, but if enough of you want to reach out and tell them, oh my gosh, you need to partner with Dance to Learn because she uses those balance beams all the time, help me out, because they have the straight one and the curvy one on their website. So I will link to Gopher Sport if you want to get my exact foam balance beams. But as always, I will link some alternatives that I have found on Amazon. I've never tried them personally, so any feedback that you guys can give me, it will help me find alternatives to my props so that you can still create some of these obstacle courses on your own. So 10 balance beam pieces. Or if you don't have a balance beam, you could create your scarecrow with tape on the floor. You could line up a row of poly spots. You could use, if you have just a straight balance beam, and then maybe you could add something like some of these balance domes that you could lay out. You have a lot of options. For my balance domes, you're actually only going to need 3. My orange one was to hold my pumpkins in today. It was our pumpkin basket. But for Mr. Scarecrow, to build him, you're only going to need 3 balance domes or poly spots, something to mark the spot where they can stand. 2 hoops. And then optional, you can add a big pumpkin head. All right, so we are going to build a scarecrow that looks like Mr. Sprinkles, just like this. He's going to have legs and arms, and he's going to be making a straight body shape. So let me build him out, and then I will talk about how we can make this one station obstacle course into our complete 5-part obstacle course. Let's have Mr. Sprinkles reveal our amazing straight scarecrow body shape. Look at that. Okay, so we have a circle at the bottom. This is not part of the scarecrow. This is just one of our stations of our 1-part obstacle course. This is going to be our twirling and jumping station. So then we have dynamic balance. That's one of our stations. Those are all of our balance beam pieces. Dynamic balance is when you must remain balanced and have continuous postural security while moving, while in motion, while walking. So really important skill. Then all of the balance domes, all 3 balance domes, those are our static balance stations, okay? Static balance is where you must maintain postural stability while being stationary. And then we just have a little locomotor around, and this is our scarecrow's hat and his face. Now, our dancer's choice, our creative exploration station, is not really an extra station here, but our creative exploration, I'm giving my dancers the option of how they want to make their straight shape. So I will talk about that when I actually demonstrate this obstacle course for you guys. But to compare this, the reason why this is a single station obstacle course is it's one element that is contained. So I will show you a picture of this in the school. again, when you have limited space, you can't put, a curvy balance beam with a straight balance beam with a zigzag balance beam. I'll also post my Johnny Appleseed, where we explored, a straight pathway, a curvy pathway, a zigzag pathway. You may not be able to do all of those pathways in 1 week like you can when you have a nice big open dance studio like we have today. So we have to keep that in mind. So instead of doing all 4 of those or all 3 of those at one time, we're going to break them up over 4 weeks, and we're just going to bring one curvy pathway and explore curvy pathway. And then the next week, bring one zigzag pathway and explore zigzag. Or like this with our scarecrow, we are exploring straight this week only. Next week, we will add curvy. Now, even with this one station obstacle course, these arms were almost too long, and we were literally right up to the furniture. So next week, what I'm going to do when we explore curvy, I'm going to bring maybe fewer pieces, or if I feel like we're too close to the furniture, maybe change how curvy our scarecrow is, because we combine up to yellow, and then we do 2 big curvy balance beams, and then he has some curvy arms too. So his head is actually going to be like over here. When we do curvy, I don't know how that's going to work in the space. So we're going to test it out. Maybe I'll post an update if you guys want to see curvy. So angular is almost like this. Angular is going to be better because this green one's going to point up and this red one's going to point down, and then we'll have more space. All right, without further ado, let me demonstrate what we did on this obstacle course and give you a better idea of how we explored this dance concept and where we put in our creative exploration station. So earlier in our class, we danced to the song I'm a Scarecrow Tall, and I will link that song for you guys in the description so that you can hear it yourself. But there's a part where the scarecrow says, I can dance around and I can jump and twirl. Now today when we danced to that song during our concept play exploration, we explored different ways that we could hold our arms straight, and we explored different ways that we could lift our legs straight, maybe forwards and backwards. So that's going to be our exploration station. So the only prompt I gave them was in their twirling and jumping. They had to show me how they could dance around with arms straight, lots of options, and jump with arms straight. So I can dance around, I can jump and twirl. Maybe they jumped this way. Maybe they jumped this way. I noticed it was easier for the little ones to jump with their hands straight up, just as an observation. Then our dynamic balance, we made straight arms just like our scarecrow, and we tiptoe walked. And on green was, I like color coordinating, so green was arms, red was legs. So tiptoe walk. I'm falling off. Okay. And then on green, they had to wave with straight arms. Hi, Miss Jessica, they said. And then red was our legs. And we were like literally, there was a bookshelf right here. So we were really close. But what was nice about that was they could hold on to the bookshelf, so they kind of felt more stable. So they could do arabesque, or they could do to the front. So again, that was the dancer's choice. That was the creative exploration. And then we got to the top of our scarecrow. We tiptoe walked around to his hat, and then we stood on his hat, and we were going to pick up our pumpkin. And this was another fun creative exploration. I said you could pick up your pumpkin head on the count of 3, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, boo! And so that was their creative exploration. But this works so much better in a space where you can't have so many balance beams happening at one time. So if you guys have questions about adjusting obstacle courses, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help you figure out the best way to implement that. All right, dance teachers, that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, let me and Mr. Sprinkles know by giving it a thumbs up. Also, click on that red subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you never miss a video. Happy dance adventuring!